Hello, my name is Cyan, welcome to my channel, and today we're doing a speed build for a build I did for the Reaper's Rewards challenge for my sim Rosemary and her cat Annabelle to live in for like the 6-week event. I went ahead and built this house on this lot called Lasuli Point in Copperdale. I believe it's a 15 by 20. I could be wrong, it might be 20 by 30, but it's on the smaller side. But I just really loved the sort of vibe of Copperdale, especially in the fall, because I obviously set my game to fall to play the event, and I definitely feel like it added to the atmosphere because the trees in Copperdale are so like red and vibrant during the fall. It's like so pretty. But I had like a really hard time starting this one. I cut it all out because I didn't think there was a reason to keep it in. But I made like, I think 4 shells before I settled on this one that you're seeing. And I got pretty far in like 2 of them. I like started with the floor plan, but then decided I just hated it. But I actually really love how this one came out. So I feel like it was definitely worth the hardship to just get to the point of something that I liked. I ended up using a lot of paranormal, especially on the inside, and also a lot of the vampires pack. I feel like those both make a lot of sense, obviously, for a like fall themed sort of spookier looking build, because you know, like Grimm and Ambrosia, that's all sort of paranormal that has to do with ghosts. Something I did love about this build is the windows with the shutters up top and on the side. Those are from the Wedding Stories pack, and I do love those windows, but I don't think I've ever really used them in black before. I typically use them because I like some of the really fun colors that they have on the shutters. I think they have like a purple and a really pretty like sea green sort of a color, but I don't use them in the black, and I love those windows. Like I think I definitely will be switching to using those more and more, just like trying to find opportunities. The other windows at the front are like obviously bay windows, so obviously those are cute also. I also built this like back in September, I think, before the event really started, so I didn't really know what we'd be doing for it. So I did during the challenge, which I like played through on my channel. I did have to change a few things. Mostly the kitchen I had to switch around entirely because I needed to add on a greenhouse, because you needed to like get plants to grow and what's the word, like graft onto each other. They obviously, I have seasons and they weren't all in season because that would be too easy. So I needed to make a greenhouse space, and so I added that onto the back, and I think it looks okay, but I definitely like the original build more, obviously, because I had full control over it. But honestly, when I'm playing The Sims with any household, I always end up having to move stuff around and add on weird bits to different things just because I'll need this for their aspiration or for their job or whatever. Something I do love about this build is that red brick. It's from Cottage Living, and I use that brick all the time, but never in this like red color, and it's so pretty. It's like so like brown. I don't know how to describe what I like about it, but it also is like weathered. That's what I like about all the swatches, is how sort of worn down it is, so you don't see the texture as much. I like a brick texture, obviously, but it's just, there's always a need for something with a little less, I feel like. As for the build, I love those dormers too. Those might also be Cottage Living. And just because this black roof swatch like matched, it's the one I went with. I just like have my favorites in The Sims, and I don't really branch out unless there's a reason to do that. So I actually love how like black and dark that roof swatch is, but I never use it because I always use the one that's like sort of rounded and scalloped just because I think it's cute. So this was fun to sort of experiment with a few different things that I don't usually add. Also, that little room on the side for like a little bit has a glass roof, and then I change it. I thought it'd be fun to have like a sunroom, I guess it'd be called, but it ultimately, I just switched it back. And then I also really struggled with the room like layout of the interior of this. I always do. I'm like not good at figuring out like a logical way to set houses up, no matter how many times I do it. So I really tried for a bit to get the living room on the right, but then I couldn't figure out a good place to put the kitchen. The kitchen's on the right, and the like living room and the fireplace are more towards the left, and then I open up that little like cubby on the far left that's currently closed off. I think I was gonna make that into a bathroom, but I end up just having one bathroom upstairs, and I turned that little like nook into an office, which is still like kind of closed in and cozy, but it's also open to the rest of the downstairs, so not quite as shut off from the rest of the house. I usually like having a bathroom on each floor with The Sims just because I find it easier, which always means that I end up having way too many bathrooms in comparison to like bedrooms. I'll have like a 3-bedroom, 5-bathroom Sims house just because I find it so annoying to not have enough bathrooms in The Sims. In my like personal save, I'm playing through like a little legacy challenge, and I'm having that exact problem right now. For the longest time, we had one bathroom and it was upstairs, and I had 5 kids plus like my legacy sim plus occasionally like other like step parents were coming in, and it was a disaster to get them all to school and work and whatever. But this one wasn't so bad since it's just my sim Rosemary and her cat. And you also might notice that I don't put a single cat thing in this build, despite the fact that I had made The Sims. You saw them standing outside. I knew there was a cat, I just completely forgot all cat stuff until after the speed build. So I went back and added in a litter box and some toys and a food bowl. So Annabelle's okay, she has all of her stuff. You just don't see any of it here. But that might be a good time to mention that this build will of course be on the gallery. My gallery ID is just Carnival Bears. I'll probably put it on screen just so you know how to spell it. And I've more or less moved on to the upstairs. And the upstairs, the layout is also weird. I'm just, again, not good at layouts. So we have a bedroom, a bathroom, and then like a seance room. Just since I was using so much of the paranormal stuff pack, I thought it could be nice to include that. And we did actually end up needing to commune with the dead with the seance table, like in the challenge, which I had no clue, but I was prepared. The bathroom wallpaper, it's blue right now, and I do like it, but I end up changing both the wallpaper and the tile like pretty far into the build, just because I feel like it didn't go with the rest of the build being very like red and black and dark brown. I just felt like the blue really stood out in a way I didn't like. And the other thing that stood out that I didn't change, I didn't fix, is the bedroom. It's like a very pink and blue theme, just because I found this bed from high school years that had these little skulls on it, and I felt like that was pretty fitting, but it was pink and blue, so I just went with that for the bedroom, even though it's very different than the rest of the style of the house, being those reds and those blacks and those browns. I really like the color scheme of it, save for the bedroom. I don't hate the theme of the bedroom, it's just, again, pretty far out there from the rest of it, but I really like the red and the black and the dark brown. I love the dark brown on those cabinets from Home Chef Hustle. I love those cabinets in general. Those are just, I think, maybe like the best like cabinets we've gotten in so long. I constantly use them, and I thought they might be too modern for this build, and maybe they are, but I felt like in that dark brown swatch it really didn't look that bad, especially with like the gold accents. It did make it feel a little bit more classic to me, I think. Also, having that like really nice kitchen was really nice, since we did have to do a lot of cooking for the event, obviously, because we had to make ambrosia, and to make ambrosia you have to max out both your cooking and your gourmet cooking scale. So it was nice to have that, even though it did shrink quite a bit once I needed to add in that greenhouse sort of in the middle of the challenge. Also, just the floors running throughout the house are from Jungle Adventure, and I think those are like my favorite floors. Like, not every swatch is good. Some of them I really like don't like actually, but this like almost cherry-ish red sort of dark wood I really love, and I use it way more than I should. Some parts of this house definitely had me using things I don't usually, like those wall sconces and a lot of stuff outside, but my trusty floors I had to keep. Also, those appliances in the kitchen from growing together, I love those. I felt like they really worked well in the space. I put up a few portraits of like Guidry and like the haunted house from Paranormal just because I needed art, and I never really used those, but they're like a really good size, and there's 3 of them all with matching frames, which is really pretty helpful. And back in the bedroom, it's still like, it's a bedroom, it doesn't matter, but it's just so different from the rest of the house that I don't love it just in the context. I think I'd like it in a different house, but I used that rug from Growing Together, and that's Watch with the Roses, which is really cute. The wallpaper is from Vampires. I also included like an easel in here just because, again, the event hadn't started, so I didn't know too much about what I should include in the house. So just in case she needed like a hobby or something, I put an easel, and then I don't think she touched it a single time. I don't think we needed it at all. I mean, I know we didn't need it, but I don't think she even has like a level 1 painting skill. The hardest part about the bedroom was probably the walls. I have such a problem on not knowing whether I'm like cluttering the walls too much or not enough, and I don't know about this one. I feel like every wall has like a painting or something on it, a mirror for example, but I feel like it might be too much, especially the wall with the bed. I think there's like a mirror over, or maybe it's a picture. I think there's like a picture from werewolves over the dresser, but then there's like a little collection of 3 paintings of roses over the bed, and the bed frame also is like really pretty, and so I just wasn't sure if it was too much, you know? But I don't remember if I kept the tile in the kitchen. No. I changed up the tile in the bathroom to like the warmer toned, it's sort of like a orangey pinky sort of a color of the tile from high school years, to sort of tie into, again, that like really warm color scheme we had going on everywhere else. And I changed, I think it's the same wallpaper, just in a different swatch. It's now like the sort of light brown bird wallpaper from Vampires with the dark brown molding, which I feel like, even though it's not like a red bathroom, it goes a lot better with a lot of the red in the house, because it's got that like warmth in it that it was missing when it was blue. Then the final thing I did in the house, of course, is just add more clutter. I also had like the saucer lights in a lot of the rooms, just so I could see, but I really wanted this house to have like a cozier, like lower light sort of a look, and so I took, I think, all of those out and replaced them with, for the most part, the paranormal sconces pretty much everywhere. And I loved how that like low yellow lighting looked in the house. It made it creepier, it made it cozier, it made it warmer. It just really felt like fall when I was playing in the house, which I really loved, of course. Who doesn't love like a nice, tight, cozy Sims house? But I think that's all I have to say, so there will be some screenshots at the end, and I will see you the next time I upload. Bye!